Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Green here with No More News. Huge show today, Monday, January 19th, 2026. We've got a bunch of amazing clips from the IAC, the Israel Jewish Billionaire Conference, basically. Trump has announced the Board of Peace for Gaza. We've got a bunch of new anti-Semitism stuff, some greenback clips, some of the Nick Fuentes and Andrew Tate at the club, tons of other stuff. So much to cover. Donald Trump, Greenland stuff. The first clip we're going to start with, Trump explaining why he stood down and did not attack and do regime change on Iran like we all thought was coming last week. Start with that. I'm gonna turn the Powerchat on in just a minute. Powerchat.live/no-more-news to have your comment read and support the show. Change of plans. No More book on Amazon right away. The initial release. I'm gonna buy a bunch of books and ship them myself. So still working on getting those ordered and shipped out to you guys. They'll be up for sale on the website very soon. But that's the update there. The book is done, though. The cover is done. Just working on getting it published. Not going to do Amazon right away anymore. Okay, here we go.
Not strike Iran.
Nobody convinced.
Did Arab and Israeli officials convince you to not strike Iran?
Nobody convinced me. I convinced myself. You had yesterday scheduled over 800 hangings. They didn't hang anyone. They canceled the hangings. That had a big impact.
Did Arab and Israeli...
They canceled the hangings. I told them, I gave them the red line, and they answered. And they did not do it. Okay. Meanwhile, Lindsey Graham is saying that the war with Israel and Iran is a religious war, a holy war.
The Arab countries in the region have been more than disappointing. If the media reports are true, that if the Arab countries are okay with Iran's Ayatollah staying in power, I'm going to reevaluate my entire opinion of the Arab World Alliance. I've tried to be very hopeful to build on the Abraham Accords, but this idea of saying one thing behind closed doors and something else in public is coming to an end. So I've called Arab allies and I said, you need to correct the record. If you don't understand this is the biggest moment for change since the fall of the Berlin Wall, you're missing a lot. This is a religious war. Who wins it at the end of the day? Do the radical Islamic terrorists who want to kill all the Jews because God told them to? What we're facing right now
a religious war. I love how they're criticizing Muslims for God told them to, while he grants everything that the God supposedly told the Jews. No self-awareness, no ground to stand on.
Moment of decision that will set the course of the future of the Mideast for 1,000 years.
Okay, so no war as of yet. Now we got two billionaires. We got the left-right paradigm of Zionist billionaires with Haim Sabin here and Miriam Adelson at the Israeli-American Council. Bunch of amazing clips. Here they are talking about how do they buy and exercise influence over politics in America.
That we had many sessions here about how important it is to get involved, to build a relationship with politicians, and to have access. And access and relationship can buy you influence, doesn't mean it's going to buy you. So you both master that. So can you share with us, I want everyone to learn today, how do you build a relationship with the politician? I know there is always money involved because that's part of the system, but the relationship is not always just about money, because to have the access and to have the relationship to create an influence, you need not just the money. So you also need them all to be religiously brainwashed and believe you're God's chosen people and live in the Holy Land and your prophecies are real. That helps. That helps a little bit, not just money. 4,000 people here. I want them to hear from the best, you and Miri, about how do you do that?
Well, Miri and Sheldon Yizichro Baruch have been much more generous than me, so why don't you turn around and ask her that?
I'm going to ask her, but you both made a lot of connection and made a big influence.
Now, what I gave...
He supports the left. Remember, it was him on stage with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, I believe at the same conference, where Pelosi said, I'll dig up the clip. Pelosi said, even if our Capitol wasn't crumbled and in rubble, her number one priority would be supporting the state of Israel.
Is this is what they gave, is this.
Dude, back off the mic, bro.
But it's the same principle. I understand what you're asking. I want to be cautious it's a system that we did not create.
He looks like a monster. They're just taking over the system. Don't hate the player, hate the game. He's going with that old proverb.
The system that's in place, it's a legal system, and we just play within the system, and that's it. I mean, it's just really quite simple. If you support a politician, you, under normal circumstances, should have access to be able to share opinions and try to help them see your point of view. That's what access grants you.
With millions of dollars, help them see your point of view. Hey, just playing by the rules. This is the system.
And this financial support grants you the access. So, I mean, those that give more have...
You buy off our American politicians and tell them what to do for your favorite country in the Middle East.
More access, and those that give less have less access. It's a simple math. Trust me.
Get it.
It was at the IAC.
I have said to people when they ask me if this Capitol crumbled to the ground, the one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid, and I don't even call it aid, our cooperation with Israel. That's fundamental.
Our subjugation.
Fundamental to...
Before I was even born, my father was in the Congress of the United States, Thomas D'Alessandro Jr. He was, as a little...
Yeah, they're just playing by the rules. That's why they smear and deplatform and vilify anybody that points out all of their political influence. All of their media, political, religious, financial, whatever influence. Just playing by the rules. It's not a level playing field. It's rigged against us. What do they do when people try to peacefully boycott Israel? They make it illegal. Does that seem like, that's the system? Hey, our system is also freedom of speech, yet you suppress us and shadow ban us with all the algorithms as your organizations team up with the big tech platforms.
We had many sessions.
And then they ask Miriam the question, and she says she doesn't want to answer.
Why is it so important? Miri, you and Sheldon created a lot of relationship over the years with politicians at the state level, especially at the federal level. I want you to share with everyone, why is it so important and how do you do it? Again, writing checks is part of it, but there is more than writing just checks. So how do you do it?
Blackmail. I don't want to say it's also blackmail.
Can you allow me not to answer?
She doesn't want to answer.
I want to be truthful, and there are so many things that I don't want.
Brother B, thank you. Why is this not playing? The first one usually takes a while.
Brother BD sent $5 on Rumble. Is there a chapter in the book about all Christians are Zionist? I asked Albishai if you could come on his space and promote the book, and he said yes. There are a lot of new Christians in his space.
There's not a chapter called or just about all Christians are Zionists, but in the Christian-controlled opposition chapter, I do say that, you're not anti-Zionist if you worship the God of Zion. So, yes, I do have a section in a chapter. Actually, no, it's a whole chapter called Christian-controlled opposition, and there's many sub-chapters. But, yeah, I'll go on his space and talk about the book, debate some of these Christians. I plan on getting back on spaces once the book is done and out to promote it and fight for it. This is just wild. She goes, I want to be truthful, so I can't answer this question about how I control the politicians.
I want to be truthful, and there are so many things that I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want specific, but that's okay. But
they all clap like this. Don't get us in trouble.
How important it is to get involved.
Don't give the internet any more clips. Don't fulfill any more stereotypes. They give her a round of applause. She doesn't want to answer.
Because the reason that both of you were able to make huge differences is because you got involved. And you spent a lot of time and yes, money, a lot of money on it, but you got involved and you cared. And that's what everyone here need to know. That, you know, complaining and doing nothing is not going to get us anywhere. And you guys have done completely the opposite. So thank you both.
Thank you for the power over the Gentiles that you wield for Israel.
Miri,
oh,
you and Sheldon.
JRM sent $5 on Rumble. Have you watched the new Tyler Oliveira video about the welfare scam in Karais, Joel?
Yeah, I watched most of it on Big Tech when Big Tech was streaming it. I have it up in one of the tabs today. We're going to show at least some clips of it, maybe not the whole thing. Okay, here's some more, another revealing clip from Miriam Adelson.
In your honor and in memory of Sheldon.
Dude, like I just said last week, every week we've got some new Jewish organization handing out awards, giving speeches, talking about their takeover. Every week we get this content. Every week there's another Jewish convention scheming against the nations.
Honor and in memory of Sheldon. In the name of the Golan community, Jewish and Druze, we are proud to present you with Golan Honorary Friendship Award.
I'll be able to sign all the books too. No drop on Amazon tomorrow. I'm selling them. I'm printing them and selling them myself. Yo, thank you, Super Bass.
On Rumble. Randy Fine celebrates Trump's Greenland demands threatening NATO, while Tucker has on half-Jew Sergei Karaganov to threaten Europe with a nuclear first strike if they don't stop helping Ukraine.
Yeah, they're egging on both sides, aren't they? Good point. Yeah, we got some of that stuff too. Yeah, we have a clip of Putin talking about Trump and Greenland, saying that America's been planning it since the 80s. Thank you so much, Based, Indomitably Based. Frog Eyes is gonna present me the Amalekite of the Year award. That's funny. But yeah, no book on Amazon, not right away. I'm gonna buy a bunch of copies, sign them, and ship them out myself. So it's probably going to be another week and a half-ish. You going to get a speech? Here it is.
קודם כל, תודה רבה. ומה הקשר שלי ושל שלדון לגולן? אני מציעה שתקשיבו לנאום שלך.
Listen to Trump's speech at the Hanukkah party for her Golan plan.
שהוא דיבר. ואז תדעו מה הקשר.
You will know what my connection in Sheldon's to the Golan is. I don't remember. What did it say in that speech? That they're going to take it? That she's going to back him with another $250 million and be president again? What did he say at the Knesset about the Golan?
Let's hear it for Dr. Edelson, everyone.
What did she say? Thank you, Celine. Jared Kushner has been appointed as the Board of Peace at Gaza. Okay, no comments saying what she said. Then here's some more. Attorney General Pam Bondi was there saying anti-Semitism is her number one focus. Of course.
Rise.
Every single time. But hey, she wears a Jesus crucifix necklace.
Under her leadership, the Department of Justice has made combating anti-Semitism a top priority, especially in response to the alarming rise in incidents following October 7. She brings moral clarity, resolve, and an unwavering commitment to justice to this critical fight. Please.
Right. Putin has also been invited to the Board of Peace in Gaza.
Welcome.
Very interesting.
The 87th Attorney General of the United States, Pamela Bondi.
Yeah, she's an Israeli, doesn't even hardly speak English. Her and her husband say all they care about is being good citizens of Israel and good Zionists. And then she's just on stage bragging about how they buy off the politicians and won't even answer the question about how she wields her influence. And then as they try to make it illegal to talk about it. Thought it was Roseanne Barr. Thank you, Celine. They'll play and read the voice if you do $5 instead of interrupting the show every minute with $1 with the shekel. I don't know how to change that setting so it doesn't even beep unless it's 5, but I wish I could.
Miriam Adelson is amazing. What she has done for Israel, for our country, and for this world is second to none.
Another Christian politician.
For way too long, anti-Semitism has been allowed to grow unchecked in this country. Too many institutions have abdicated.
Unchecked, like there's only 100 anti-Semitism watchdog organizations. They're only kvetching and screaming about everybody's anti-Semitic nonstop. How much more do they need until it's just criminalized and you get punished with jail time and imprisonment? They're not going to stop until it gets to that stage, I'm afraid.
Their moral responsibility to speak up. Too many so-called leaders have stayed quiet. Actions have consequences, and inaction has consequences too. We've sued violent protesters under the FACE Act for intimidating Jewish Americans worshiping at synagogues. This is the first time since its passage, the FACE Act in 1994, that it has been used to protect a house of worship. Working with Secretary Linda McMahon, who has been a champion for you as well, and Harmeet, we have secured a $200 million settlement with Columbia University for violating the civil rights of Jewish students and Jewish employees. We've secured a $75 million settlement with Northwestern University for anti-Semitic conduct.
Oh my gosh.
We've secured a $60 million settlement with Cornell that includes provisions to halt anti-Semitic conduct.
Dude, with all the crime and all the corruption going on, and she gets in and she targets number one priority, anti-Semitism. They told us they were going to do this before they got in. They came in, they did it. Promises made, promises kept. Barely smart enough to read the script. Yeah.
And we've launched a full investigation into University of California's system for systematic anti-Semitism.
Wow. Total winning. To thunderous applaud.
To justice, to this critical fight.
Oh, wait, we saw that one already. That was the introduction.
You gain access and the
Here's more about their power and their influence. You know, no big deal. Just another Jewish get-together with a couple billionaires talking about all their influence. All of this trope and these conspiracies.
I wish we could, but we cannot clone you both because you guys dedicated your life and many, many resources to influence the political arena. But Chaim, same question. Is it changing? Is it evolving? Is it weakening the influence that the Jewish community has in the United States?
I can tell you that my influence is not weakening.
I know. I said I couldn't. I
No,
can't
but
clone
that's
you
a
and
fact.
Miri, so it doesn't help.
I mean, what you
So many shekels, so little time. That is Jewish problems. Good one.
gain is by being supportive of a political party or any politician, you gain access and the ability to share your opinion. Whether they accept it or not, it's up to them. But I think it's up to us to always reinforce the importance to America of this alliance. They are American elected officials, voted to Congress, to the Senate, to the White House by Americans, and we shouldn't go in there as Israelis, as Jews. We should go in there and always clarify I go back to what the rabbi said, education, 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 educate them on the importance.
I love it. See this? They go, oh, he's secular. He funds the leftist Jews, right? He's not wearing a yarmulke. And then he goes, oh, like the rabbi said. I always try to explain this dynamic. Like even the so-called secular appearing Jews or secular acting Jews, it's still so deeply intertwined with what the rabbis say and rubbing elbows with the rabbis and being influenced by rabbis in Judaism.
Jews, we should go in there and always clarify. I go back to what the rabbi said, education, 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 educate
what, Rebbe?
them on the importance.
Is he quoting the Rebbe? Education Day, Rebbe? Noahide laws, Rebbe?
Importance of the alliance. And we will succeed sometime. There are some unredeemable cases like Omar and Talib and Shmalib and all this chara.
Unredeemable, or they say that the shards of the Klippa and the darkness and Esau and Amalek cannot be rectified. Irredeemable. Cannot be reasoned with.
As we know. But so they're unredeemable. These people are, but there are many people on the fence. I was speaking to a senator who would remain nameless. He said, you know, Israel's economy is growing faster than the U.S. economy. Why should we give aid to America?
Good question.
To Israel, I meant. I said, what aid do we give to Israel? She said, 3.8 billion every year. I said, 3.8 billion of what can aid? I don't know, schools, universities, hospitals. A senator. The lack of education, the lack of understanding what those $3.8 billion, how it benefits America by a senator was stunning to me. Of course, I took the time to explain, and this woman was not so smart, so I don't know if she got it, but anyways, I'm not going to give up on those that are on the fence. Those that are unredeemable, unredeemable. Those that are on the fence, it is our job to reinforce in front of them the importance of the alliance. I can't say, I'm going to sound like a broken record the whole evening, just so you know. Really reinforce the importance to America. They're American elected officials.
Did you like that part? Make it seem like it's all about America.
Just so you know.
Who falls for that?
Reinforce the importance to America. They're American elected.
Really make it seem like it's not all about Israel. That's how I interpret that. Oh, we got the funniest clip of Greenblatt coming up here in a minute. Okay, I think we did that one. Oh, talking about how they kicked out the girl for filming and like doing something to the guy. Let's hear this one. We'll get to the Greenback clip. It's so funny.
I want to tell you a story right here in Florida. You've probably heard of it. It's not a crime of great violence, but in my opinion, it's a crime of great significance. Mm-hmm. I give college presidents my personal cell phone, and I say, if you need anything, call me. My phone rang one day. I was sitting in the office, and it was the president of Florida State University. And he said, something just happened. Yeah, a young woman, a student, threw her phone, cursed, attacked a young student, a young man, male student, who was playing basketball because he was wearing an IDF shirt. She was a student, he was a student. I spent the next few hours on the phone. I called my U.S. attorney. I called the state attorney. Called law enforcement.
Dude, the fact that I saw this video and covered it when it happened. Some girl went up to a guy and she was like, oh, you got an IDF shirt? You're a terrorist. And she like slapped his sandwich out of his hand or something and then left. That's no, if that was any other situation, do you think that the Attorney General of the United States would be on speed dial to address it and look into it?
And I guess she saw it went through the system as it should, and she now is kicked out of Florida State University.
I mean, I understand her getting kicked out, to be honest, but the fact that like it went to the very top, Just because the guy was Jewish, fast track to the highest levels of government to address it. It's absurd, and it shows the special privileges and treatments that they get.
But little things are the big things, and that sends a strong message that you can't behave that way anymore in our country. You can't bully other students simply because they're Jewish. And you think they're better than they are. Not going to happen under Donald Trump's presidency.
Okay. We know who she works for. Yehuda Kaplan in a new interview. The anti-Semitism czar with what's Elon Carr, the former Trump anti-Semitism czar. Let's see.
Safe. We have to educate the Jewish community and our children.
Well, we're so
to
cooked.
Have pride in who we are as a nation, who we are as Jews, who we are as Americans. It's missing. Children don't know how to answer questions about their own Jewish identity. When you have 30% of Jews in New York voting for somebody who advocates basically hatred of Jews or does not protect Jews, that's a problem with our education system. Secondly, how do we educate the world to the contributions of Jewish society wherever we've been? We have to be able to educate better. So education without question is a priority. Secondly, the safety and security of Jews around the globe is paramount. I'm proud to say that in this short time that since confirmation, we have agreements with Belgium that they're going to restore the funding for this, protecting the Jewish schools and the shuls. Armenia has been able to join and announced the willingness that they're going to join the IRA definitions. Excellent. Ireland, right now, you're not...
So they're pushing the IHRA definition all over the world. Number one priority, shut it down worldwide.
Hearing any more talk about BDS. These are things that are victories.
No more BDS.
That we're able to do. Not everything is out there, but the administration has made it very clear that every tool in the arsenal is available, whether it be sanctions or whatever it is to help combat anti-Semitism.
Dude,
amazing. Thank you.
Number one priority, just like the Guardians, the Esau Guardian.
It's the anti-Semitism. We're seeing a dramatic rise in anti-Semitism throughout the country. What do we do about it?
This is Elon Carr also. I remember he got like 100,000. I remember reporting he was funded by the Adelsons in one of his initial government positions. And then Trump, I'm sure the Adelsons suggested, appointed him the anti-Semitism czar. Now we got a Chabad rabbi. So huge step up.
Well, Elon, thanks for having me. I'm glad that people recognize the commitment of this president and the entire administration to fighting this evil amongst us. So I believe that quite a bit of what we're seeing online and in our universities and attacks on our houses of worship is funded by foreign governments and foreign evil actors, and that is definitely a focus of this administration to trace the money and understand who's funding it, because that's critical to stopping it. But on the law enforcement side, what we're doing is at every level, we are taking a zero-tolerance approach towards anti-Semitism wherever we find it. And
how long have I been on mute for? I don't even remember muting. That's weird.
Anonymous sent $5. You have heard of the curse of the 8th decade that worried Ehud Barak? They have lost their territory 2x before in the 8th decade. That will be 2028. Adelson and Sabin, both over 80.
I've heard that, but I wouldn't place much stock in it. Thank you, Iron Guardsman.
1488 sent $5 on Rumble. Found out about you at the end of last year. Wish it were sooner, but better late than never. Thank you for helping wake me up to the Jeebus question. Looking forward to reading your book.
Awesome. Thank you. Really good to hear that we're still waking up new people. And yes, better late than never. But you're here. Thank you.
that includes graffiti. That includes the anti-Semitism, subtle and overt, on our college campuses, both
subtle.
vis-a-vis the hiring and retention of faculty, as well as, of course, discrimination against students. We are using existing laws in innovative ways. For example, My department brought the first FACE Act case involving a blockage of a house of worship in West Orange, New Jersey. And I have personally, thank you. I have personally visited numerous synagogues in New York.
They're just like victory lapping all their W's.
Los Angeles and other jurisdictions where they've been attacked. And so we are devoting federal law enforcement resources to this issue. We are raising our voices loudly. We are making sure that the community feels our presence. And the Attorney General personally has gotten involved in this issue, and I have her trust in dealing with them as well. So I always welcome feedback. Yehuda has frequent feedback from me. As anyone who knows him knows, he's very, very good about reminding us about issues. But we feel the need to make all Americans feel safe, and right now there's a great need in the Jewish community. So call me, get to me. If I'm missing something, we really want to be of service.
Be nice if I could have if I could feel safe from all of this going on, from all this Jew hatred, if I could feel safe. This is the funny clip now. This is so fucking hilarious. And it should be a wake-up call to them. Greenblatt says they changed their branding. What's up, Thunderstorm? Jesus backwards is Susage.
Jesus backwards is Susage, meaning Yahweh is salvation.
Backwards. Isn't it just Yahweh? Yeshua is Joshua, which means Yahweh salvation. Yahshua. I'm not sure if that's accurate about the backwards. Rabbis say that if you do Yeshua or Yeshu backwards, it equals Esau. You flip a letter or something, that it's Esau. But I don't know about just normal, not backwards, but frontwards, regular. It says Yahweh is salvation. Anyway, thank you, Thunderstorm, for that. Maybe I'm wrong too, but that's just my understanding. Okay, so this is so funny. He says that they had to rebrand their anti-Semitism campaign against Jew hatred because people thought that it meant that Jews were hating. In that case, we do need to end Jew hatred. It's so funny, too, that most people assume it just means Jews hate Gentiles.
Research. Deborah asked a question, wouldn't it be more powerful to say Jew hatred than anti-Semitism? Well, one thing I should just say is, again, protect, advocate, educate. We have centers of excellence at ADL, our Center on Extremism. We also have a Center on Anti-Semitism Research. Our Center on Anti-Semitism Research is run by a Stanford PhD. He's actually observant. We have several PhDs on staff. We have a network of academics and scholars we work with around the country. So we've done the research. We've literally done the research. And we're running everything all the time, from focus groups to attitudinal surveys to like randomized controlled trials to identify what interventions work most effectively.
Wow.
And we've tested.
So like we're beta testing. They just got hundreds of millions of dollars and endless organizations all dedicated to the war against anti-Semitism. They are at war with the Gentiles.
Rumble. Where did the soap and lampshade theory come from? Lol. Rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Wasn't that the Soviets? The Soviets did like propaganda videos talking about that type of thing initially.
Yes.
I think that's the
and
case.
The funny thing is, doesn't matter. The term Jew hatred we find in our research, when you say end Jew hatred, Gentiles think you're talking about the hatred of Jewish people. You understand that? As if we were the ones hating.
You are! Okay. Let that marinate for a second, Greenblatt. The reason that we think that you hate us is because you do. Because you do hate the nations, and your whole religion involves thinking you're chosen and we hate you for no reason. That's why everybody thinks that. How funny is that? They can't even say end Jew hatred because people just assume that it means Jews hate us. Hilarious.
Ask the question, wouldn't it be more powerful to say Jew hatred than anti-Semitism? Well, one thing I should just say is, again, protect, advocate, educate. We have centers of excellence.
We're replaying.
Our Center on Extremism.
Laugh out loud. They examine us and talk about us like lab rats. That's true. And Chris says, end Jew hatred. Yes, we agree. Dude, so funny. Posting your L's, right? That's a big posting your L's. Let's unpack that. So funny. Here's some more.
Government's role.
By the way, his second name is...
Oh, they pulled this down. This was the interview he did with this Rabbi Wolf, the ADL rabbi. And so many people were clipping it. It looked so bad that they took it down.
But there have been good...
They privated their video.
Jonathan, can you comment on Nick Fuentes and what do you actually do that effectively can counter what he does? And what are your expectations of the government to be critical of a person that has that kind of platform?
So for everyone's benefit, the question was, can I comment on Nick Fuentes and what he does? And what are you doing to counter him? And what's the government's role?
By the way, his second name is Joseph, a good Jewish name.
Nick Fuentes' second name is Joseph?
Yosef.
Look, his last name is Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a Hispanic person, okay?
Boom.
He's an open, unapologetic, racist, homophobe, and more than anything, an anti-Semite. He's a toxic, disgusting person. And yet, thanks to X and social media, he's been incredibly effective at getting his message out there. I mean, social media is a super spreader of anti-Semitism and hate. And people like Nick Fuentes, they're like patient zero spreading this. And look, it didn't help us when candidate, or whatever you'd call him, former President Trump had him over for dinner.
You know, it's almost just like to say he's patient zero, like nobody ever talked about, nobody was ever anti-Semitic before Nick. He was the first one. Patient zero, it's all spread like an infection from Nick.
Like at Mar-a-Lago a few years ago. And it doesn't help us that when given the opportunity, people in positions of power don't renounce this guy. Now, look, to his credit, J.D. Vance has done that.
Everybody renounces
But we have
him
this
all the
challenge
time.
right now on the right, and it's like a good thing because there are bad voices who've been elevated. Like, look, Nick Fuentes is disgusting, Tucker Carlson is disgusting, Candace Owens is disgusting, and so on. But there have been good people like Ted Cruz and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin who are pushing back on these, Speaker Johnson, pushing back on these revolting lunatics. So to answer the question, I think the only way we are going to defeat the rising anti-Semitism on the right is from the right. I think the only way we're going to defeat the rising anti-Zionism on the left is by people on the left. So what I try to do at ADL, what we try to do, is to provide data, is to provide tools, is to step up, but often quietly behind the scenes.
Yeah, not anti-Semitic, Judeo-phobic. Judeo-phobic.
It doesn't help. I don't think it helps the Jewish people, and it doesn't disarm them when I go after Nick Fuentes or Hassan Piker, a revolting person. They should call him Hamas Piker. He's here in LA.
Good one.
And he's just a putrid, says horrible, slanderous things about Jews, about Zionists, about Israel.
And has a big platform.
Yeah, so you might not know Hassan Piker, but if your kids are watching video games, you better believe they do. Because on Twitch and on Steam, he's everywhere, let alone on YouTube and Insta. So anyways, long story short, we definitely are working a lot to try to get the platforms to kind of enforce their own terms of service so that we can pull down the most offensive hate speech or get them to do it. But I need people on the right to take down Tucker Carlson. So I'm trying to help Ted Cruz. I need people on the right to take down Nick Fuentes. So I'm trying to help people like Ben, and same thing on the left.
I do just want to say, when I talked in the sermon about the nuance of every human being and how we're all children, I didn't mean Nick Fuentes.
Okay, we played that one last stream, but there's many more. Here's some more.
Like to quote Wayne Gretzky.
What he's working
what we
on.
have to do, like to quote Wayne Gretzky, is not go where the puck is, but where it's going. And this has been a big lesson really since 10-7 in part. So I can tell you, we have taken resources and redistributed it really towards the LLMs, towards generative AI.
AI.
Folks, I got to tell you, how many of you used ChatGPT in the last week? Raise your hand.
ChatGPT.
Folks, I'm going to come back here in a year and you all need to raise your hand. ChatGPT is ground truth for
not anymore.
Hundreds of millions of people.
Oh, okay.
It's over 1 billion users. It's been around for like 2.5 years. So like marching in the streets is one thing we could do, But what I would rather do, and where I'm investing, is building the technology to train the LLMs more effectively, and working with OpenAI, with Alphabet, with
this is how AI is going down.
Microsoft. We are working with them now to train the LLMs.
Dude, this guy is who's training the AI for the future.
Heck, we're in conversations with Alibaba to train their LLM because the Chinese AI models are profound and potent, and they're much more cost effective, and they're spreading. So marching in the streets is certainly one thing we could do, and I get why that matters. But what I need to do is go where the puck is going. So we are investing in Wikipedia, LLMs, and trying to change the game before it changes us.
Changing the game. Don't say Jews run AI, though. So much more, too. They just sit up here and brag about all of their schemes.
Our core purpose, just to be clear, why we were created, why we exist,
to serve Yahweh,
the Jewish people. Every one of my 500 employees, the receptionist, the financial analyst, the marketing manager, we all have the same job description: protect the Jewish people. That's why we exist. And we have no confusion about that. We have a whole apparatus. I have 40 analysts working full time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, monitoring extremists. We monitor them online, social media, messaging apps, video games, cryptocurrency, podcasts,
messaging apps,
short form video, Wikipedia, LLMs. We monitor these people and we share the intelligence with the FBI. So we're monitoring left-wing radicals like the DSA and the anti-war crazies and the pro-Palestine crazies. We're monitoring right-wing extremists like white supremacists, armed militia groups. We're monitoring political Islamists and Christian nationalists, all of them. And then we train. We're the largest trainer of law enforcement in America, extremism and hate. We train 20,000 officers every year to keep our community safe. So we protect you, all of us. Secondly, we advocate. We do political advocacy. We do legal advocacy. And we do shareholder advocacy. And then finally, we educate. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to stop hate by arresting people. You have to change hearts and minds. We are one of the largest providers in the U.S. of anti-hate content in schools. You know, we have taken resources and redistributed it really towards the LLMs, towards generative AI. Folks, I got to tell you, how many of you used ChatGPT in the last week?
Okay, we saw that.
Has done that. But we have this challenge right now. Anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. And so we need to push back when anti-Zionism is normalized in content and in culture. So at the end of the day, like, I'm an old guy up here. We need our young people to help us create that culture, create that content. So we are definitely engaging social media influencers. We're engaging young creators. We're trying to launch a new Jewish incubator, like a content creation incubator. Because I know I can't do it all myself. We need to invest in and empower.
They want to flood the sphere with influencer agents.
Gifts and the creativity and the talent.
As they kvetch about foreign influence of other countries.
Who can help us to win.
Dude, he is such a walking stereotype. Okay, now this is in Florida, new video out. Police showing up at this woman's house because of a post she made on Facebook. I haven't read the post yet. Let's see it.
Picture to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
Is that a Facebook? Is that your account?
Hold on. The guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way, even leaves the room when vote on Relate Matter, wants you to know that you're all welcome. She got a visit for that?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present. So
she got a visit for that?
I really don't know how to answer that question either.
Well, like I said, you're not going to jail.
This is freedom of speech. This is America, right?
And
And
I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
So
All
we're
right.
just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I help you?
So pretty much.
They're doing house visits for tweets like that? In Florida?
It's just a statement that was made as far as,
verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians
She complained that he complained about a movie being played in a movie theater and wasn't pro-gay enough, and the police showed up at her house.
Shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leave the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you're all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago. Is that you, ma'am?
I'm not going to answer whether that's...
Step outside.
Okay. The concerning part, and not concerning for the person who's posting it, what we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or...
See, that's the excuse. Oh, any criticism at all, you could incite somebody else to do something. Hey, if you point out something that's true, somebody online might see it and might go do something violent, so can't post anything anymore. Dude.
Or agreeing with the statement, we're not saying it's true or not.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, that can probably incite somebody.
If she's talking about Randy Fine in Florida, then she's right. He does. We got the tweets.
This is something radical. That's all we're here to talk about. And we
never answer the door.
You that posted that, I would think to refrain from posting things like that because that could get.
Whoa.
I appreciate your concern.
Insane.
That's it.
You know what it is though? Like this is probably. I doubt this is a normal thing. I know what country in England. They're locking up all types of people for posts that they make. I think even New Zealand as well, or Australia. But this is probably like they got a phone call from Randy Fine or whatever mayor, whatever Jewish politician this was, or Zionist politician this was. They got a call and they said, hey, go. They saw it online and said, go do this.
I'm going to maintain my amendment rights to
my amendment
not answer the question about whether that's right. I hope that's understandable.
All right, we appreciate it.
Thank you as well.
Okay?
You as well. Thank you. Take care.
Unbelievable. Minor. Okay, the guy whose name is Minor. Sue the police for intimidation. All right. Julie Menon, the first Jewish speaker of the New York City City Council, has announced as her first priority a 5-point legislative package to combat anti-Semitism. Just what the New Yorkers voted for.
Justin KJ. Julie Menon is the first Jewish speaker of the city council, and it's notable that anti-Semitism is the first issue
Who's
she's
this
tackled.
grandma?
But the big question is whether...
Thank you, Optics Prime.
Optics Prime sent $5 on Rumble. Australia is the testing ground for the rest of the West. They roll out new products and methods there first.
Yeah, it's their little like European island that they can do
the mayor
things.
will sign all the bills that she's proposing.
I want to first of all say that anti-Semitism is rising all around our city and around the country. It's not merely impossible to ignore, it's irresponsible for us as a city council to not address it head on.
Council Speaker Julie Menon was surrounded by several members of her leadership team, some Jewish, some not, as she proposed a 5-point plan to combat anti-Semitism. The most dramatic, a plan to establish a buffer zone around houses of worship to protect congregates from protest.
Volca Spirit says, if you were an alien observing Earth and humans, you would think the entire world revolves around Jewish people. And so much of it because of Jesus. Number one, they'd say, oh, half the world, number one religion, everybody obsessed with this Jewish Messiah. And thus, because he fulfilled the prophecies of the Jewish people. You're absolutely right.
Protesters, like those who protested around the Park East Synagogue and another at the Queen Synagogue that involved Hamas supporters. She pointed out that the NYPD's hate crime statistics for 2025 show that anti-Semitic incidents accounted for nearly 60% of all hate crimes in New York City last year.
That statistic presents a cruel reality that we must confront head on.
Menon also announced a new commitment of $1.25 million.
First Jewish speaker, or what was her position? Not speaker. Yeah, speaker of the council. And immediately she starts doing exactly her thing. anti-Semitism laws.
To the Museum of Jewish Heritage, a memorial to the Holocaust. The council proposals also include an anti-Semitism reporting hotline, funding for security at private schools, and community-based security.
They already have like 95% of the federal funding from Homeland Security.
10 Babel Mamas sent $10 on Rumble. Myron Gaines throws a Roman and declares himself a Nazi on college campus in memory of Charlie Kirk. Can't wait to read the book, Adam.
The book is really good, guys. I do say so myself. The more I keep reading it and looking at it and editing it, having other people look at it, it's going to be a banger. Yeah, we're going to get into the night out, the club's night out with Fuentes and Andrew Tate and all those guys, which is only just serving to fuel this narrative.
$5 on Rumble. They never ask why anti-Semitism is rising. I think it's because people are becoming more historically literate because of the internet, maybe.
They never ask why it's rising. That is true. They never take accountability, like that everything that they're doing, everything. Greenblatt's been in charge of the ADL, leading the tip of the spear fighting anti-Semitism, and it's only exploded. Must not be doing very good at his job. He just goes, oh, we need more funding. We're doing so much. We just need more money, more laws.
F.F. Nasher, Executive Director of the Council on American Islamic Relations, telling me she supports combating anti-Semitism, but she said the council should be fighting all types of hate crimes equally.
I don't know about you, Marcia, but I've never...
Besides anti-white hate, yeah, the Muslims and the Jews always end up teaming up. They'll fight each other and they'll pin Esau and Ishmael against each other, but then they also work together against Esau.
I've learned about the genocide in Bosnia. I've never learned about the genocide in Palestine. I've never learned about the genocide in Rwanda. So we want to see that kind
of course, she names no white countries.
Funding and investment towards all communities and not specifically one faith group.
Now, I reached out to the mayor's office for comment about the legislation, but have not heard back. And while the mayor has said he wants to protect members of the Jewish community, he's also raised concerns in the Jewish community about his support for economic sanctions against Israel and his refusal to support Israel as a Jewish state. Guys.
Dershowitz says New York City will collapse without Jewish people. More of this narrative. He says it's basically Jews built New York, which is largely true.
Of New York City.
At least after a certain time. But more of this narrative, the ongoing narrative we keep seeing of, oh, if America, if Edom, if the capital of Edom, New York, turns against the Jews, it will collapse. The world will not exist without God's chosen people. It all boils down to that type of theology.
If Jews were to leave New York, it would be the end of New York. New York could not survive without...
Why are we even talking about Jews leaving New York? Is that the serious conversation now? Is, oh, Jews, not safe for Jews. Also in the news today, Trump is saying he's going to take refugees, Jewish refugees from England, because it's so anti-Semitic, it's not safe there. He says he'll take them to America. I bet ultimately he sends them, if there's any type of program, it's going to be to send them to Israel, making Aliyah, the Exodus from Galut Edom, the final and fourth exile of Edom, like the Messiah brings the ingathering and brings the Jewish people home. All of this rhetoric leading towards that.
If Jews were to leave New York, it would be the end of New York. New York could not survive without its Jewish population, its Jewish input. Jews have contributed more to the success of New York disproportionately than probably any group in history. Let's remember, it started with Peter Stuyvesant, whom the buildings are named after in New York, who excluded Jews from living in New Amsterdam, which became New York. People forget Alexander Hamilton was a great lawyer in New York, and many of his clients, perhaps most of them, were Jewish because Hamilton represented the merchant class in New York, and many of the merchants were Jewish who lived in New York. And so Jews have been
cool it with the anti-Semitic
New York's history from the beginning of American history. And if Jews begin to move down to Florida, which many are doing, we're going to see a diminution of of New York. And New York's a great city, but it won't be a great city without Jews. If Jews...
Saying the Jews are going to pull out and America's going to collapse. Hearing it from everybody, right? Guys, I would like to report a anti-Semitic hate crime right here. Let's go. Can you guys sing happy birthday for me as I blow out the candles? Totally real, by the way. I actually did this. I actually blew out the candles with my Superman breath. Not AI, I promise. All right. President Trump announces his new Board of Peace. The Prince of Peace, the Board of Peace. You guys get it? Sorry, just closed the tab on accident. Jared Kushner's in charge of Gaza. So is Marco Rubio. It is my great honor to announce that the Board of Peace has been formed. The members of the board will be announced shortly, but I can say with certainty that it is the greatest and most prestigious board ever assembled at any time, at any place. It's a biblical board, you could even say. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Dude, who does this guy think he is? With these memos. Marco Rubio, Jared Kushner, Witkoff, Tony Blair. Isn't he the famed, War on Terror UK Prime Minister? CEO of Apollo, Mark Rowan. What is Apollo? World Bank President. That's super based. And U.S. National Security Advisor. He's also offered Putin a position on the board, apparently. We're going to skip that one. Dude, the profile on that is just brutal.
Commitment on the part of, many Jews.
Okay, we'll skip that. Let's see. Hold on. Before we get to the Christian stuff. Yo, Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm 9 sent $5 on Rumble. New Amsterdam was pretty. If you ever get a chance to see old picture of the canals, it's very European.
Where's that? Where's New Amsterdam? In New York? Apollo Global Management. What's up, Western Alliance Resistance? We still got to set up a stream. I'm working on getting the book out, and then I'll be doing a lot more collabs. Barely can get any news streams going at this point. I have not been to New York. I've on my bucket list before I die. I do want to go to the Northeast, New Amsterdam area. That's what they call it, right? Or the New England area. Jocelyn, thank you.
Rumble. We now have the bulk of the world's knowledge and history aggregated for us to crawl through at our leisure. Instant translations and fact checks.
Yeah.
Pattern recognition will continue to accelerate.
Yet it seems like we're having a dumbing down and an idiocracy is coming true, and everybody's getting more stupid. While the gap between the smart people and the access to information and the masses of low IQ, bird brain, dumbed down, believe every kooky thing they read on the internet, the gap is widening. But yeah, I want to go to the East Coast and go to Maine and get some of the best pizza places in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut and go get seafood in Maine. That sounds like a super bucket list. Super bucket list thing. Yeah, speaking of the dumbing down, we got stuff like this. This Christian guy doesn't know how plate tectonics work and thinks Noah's Ark is a real story, like a total crown. Proof that the Bible is true.
100%
trustworthy.
More proof that the Bible is God's word, and it is entirely 100% trustworthy. Check it out.
The Jews are entirely 100% the Jews that wrote the Bible, 100% trustworthy. Check out the proof. Ready? Here we go.
We've got Mount Everest. Researchers recently found evidence that the highest point of Mount Everest...
Watcher, thank you.
Been replay gang lately. Can't wait to get the book. Everyone hit up subscribe star. It's a monthly small hat challenge. When's the last time you missed $20?
Right. Good point. Thank you. Book is coming very soon. Trust me, bro. This guy's such an idiot, too. He goes, researchers recently found... We have known that The top of Mount Everest was a seabed at one point for a long time. They didn't just discover
New
this.
Amsterdam before the English pushed out the Dutch in 1664.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I got to go back and watch Gangs in New York again, I think. It's been a long time. I've been wanting to go back and watch that. And once the book done, I might actually watch a little bit of TV and movies. Although last night I'm already digging into all these new books. All these books I have that have been in the queue to read. Okay, so it's not new information. We've known about plate tectonics pushing up the two continental plates, smashing into each other and pushing up. That's how mountain ranges are made, by squishing up the crust of the earth into what used to be seabed, and now that's why the peaks have seashells from millions of years of these plates crashing into each other. This guy thinks it's some new discovery and that it proves Noah's Ark is real. Total retard moment. Completely scientifically illiterate, gullible goyim idiot.
We've got Mount Everest. Researchers recently found evidence that the highest point of Mount Everest was once underwater. Why, it's almost as if Christ is king and every single thing in his word, the Holy Scriptures, is true. More proof that the Bible...
I don't even know if he believes it. I think he's just like playing an act like a retarded Christian to grift. You can't be this stupid and think this proves the Bible is real, right? You can't be that much of a smooth Christ brain to really think, or it's just a complete lack of self-awareness that he doesn't realize how stupid this makes him and all Christians look. And then yeah, this wasn't news to the semi-educated English people in the 19th century. Your Bible brain take is African tier. This shit sounds dumb without the pipe. Yeah, everybody's clowning on him. You're a laughing stock. Yeah, he probably is disingenuous, huh? Just a grift. Just grifting shekels off the Jesus tithes, I think, with a lot of these people. But I saw one post, one reply, and they were like, how do you know plate tectonics are real? And it's like, because of earthquakes? And because I've literally seen where there's, what are they called now? I responded in the post. Let's see. What are they called? Where they spread apart? Yeah, the earth is only. They also think the earth is flat. What is it called? A fault, not a fault line. That's what it's called, right? A fault line. I've seen where the fault lines also spread apart. In other areas, they spread apart. And then other side, they crash together, and I've seen it. It's not just a fault line. There's another term for it, too. I even responded to it, to one of these guys here. No, it's not drift, not continental drift. That's another thing, but that's not the word that I'm looking for. Anyway, it'll come to me in a second. Not trenches, no. Gosh, hold on. I'll find it right now. Look, this Bible kook also says archaeology confirms the Bible once again, as if this proves the Bible. No, it's not continental drift. Where they pull apart, what it's called when it leaves like the separation. I'm going to chat GPT it in a second. It'll come to me. But how does this even prove the flood anyway? They go, all of the earth was covered with water, which there's not even enough water to do that. No, it's not induction, not cracks of dune. I think it's just called a fault line. No, it's not a fissure. No, just stop guessing. You guys aren't getting it. Sorry. Maybe Odyssee's getting it. Fissure might be called also. All right, hold on. So for 40 days it flooded, and then the flood ended right after. Oh, it rained for 40 days, but how long did the flood last? A rift. Maybe that's what it is. Not a fault line. I'll find it in a second. Yeah, these guys just don't even understand how plate tectonics work. It makes perfect sense. What used to be a seabed pushed together, it ain't no fissure, and it pushes it up. And we have earthquakes, and they even can measure mountains and say that they're growing. Every earthquake, they grow a couple more inches. Yeah, San Andreas fault line. That's what I said. It is just a fault. All right. Yeah, just because you don't understand plate tectonics doesn't mean it proves your Jewish fairy tale. Oh, you think plate tectonics aren't real? Well, then what are earthquakes? And then the guy said something like, "Oh, you believe that you believe the mainstream science that says that plate tectonics are real? So you think it's God's intelligent design and he causes the earthquakes that do tsunamis and natural disasters and kill all types of people?" Goy quakes, that's funny. But sorry, I guess science is just pagan. Science is antichrist. Like kooky,
Listen,
crazy
I'm
Candace
not-
says.
Listen, I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a round earther. Actually, what I am somebody who has left the cult of science. I have left the mega church of science.
And joined the Jewish cult of Jesus. Continental rift. Seafloor spreading. God, I could have sworn it was another term.
Because what
that
I have now
used.
realized is that science, what it is actually, if you think about it, is a pagan faith.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm
Christianity is anti-science, and anything that's not Jew worship, they call paganism. So yeah, I guess science is pagan, Christianity is Jewish, and Candace is a moron.
what I am somebody who
Is that the same clip? Yeah.
I'm not.
All right, this is funny. This Muslim guy sent in a super chat to Nick and asked if he thought a Jew created the world, and he says yes.
Michelle sent $5. Earthquakes are anti-Semitic satanic dance parties caused by underground reptilian pagans.
Right. Good point. Good point there. Very true.
Yes, I do.
So Jesus, the creator of the universe, the magical Jewish creator of the universe, the Jewish Messiah, the Jewish king, king of the Jews.
Anonymous just
I'm kind of goofy, I ain't gonna lie.
Nick, do you believe the creator of the universe is a Jew?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sneako's reaction, so good.
Yes, I do. Jesus Christ.
We just say thank you.
That's the face everybody should be making. You know, when you worship a Jew and you think you're the spiritual Semites and spiritual Jews following a new Neo-Judaism, it's just, you got to own it. You got to own it and act like it's cool, even though you sound so stupid saying it. Yeah, magical Jew created the universe, totally. I'm sure the Jews hate it when you believe their book and believe the Jewish Messiah created the universe. You literally believe that the Jewish deity is the creator of everything.
Anonymous just
I'm kind of goofy, I ain't gonna lie.
Nick, do you believe the creator of the universe is a Jew?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, I do.
He also says favorite Jew is Jesus. Here they are watching their answer to this. I think he expands on it.
That's the language. Jesus spoke Aramaic. Jesus said, Shalom Aleichem. He was rolling your eyes. He wasn't from Jersey.
Are we doing this?
Are we doing this?
More of this.
That's totally. I don't know how you could believe that's like the religion.
Jesus spoke a language that was almost identical to what you just heard.
When I hear Muslims and they start doing the sing-song type stuff, they're like, it's like...
Okay, this is what I said. Fault lines. This guy says, you think tectonic plates are a real thing? Why? Humble yourself. You're much dumber than you think. Guy that doesn't understand how mountains are made. Because I felt earthquakes and seen fault lines. That's how we know plate tectonics are real. And they're able to measure them.
How do you believe that's the language of God? You're like, this is it?
You believe a Jew created the universe?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings.
He's the king of the Jews. He's the king of the Gentile kings. He's meant to conquer the Gentile kings. Huge W, bro. Rabbis want the same thing, the Abrahamic Special Olympics. I know. Dude, isn't it sad that they just have to, like, cope over this stuff?
Who created the universe?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Jesus Christ is
embarrassing.
the King of Kings. And he knew us before.
Raise your hand if you believe in Noah's Ark.
Us.
Okay.
Raise your hand if you're a gullible goyim idiot.
That weird language.
God is our father. He's not our slave driver that sings in Arabic. Fuck yeah. Love that.
Dude, yeah, you're opposition to Jews, but you think a Jew is meant to rule the world and created the world. Nick announces, many people are commenting, Nick announces he's now getting a 7-figure sponsorship from a gold merchant that used to sponsor Mark Levin. Shouldn't that be like a big red flag that he's now funded by a gold merchant that was sponsoring one of the biggest Zionist propagandists? Mark Levin? Wild.
Nick's saying, you're saying truly, when are you going to take the gold deal? I heard that was a big deal.
I think I'm going to take it, yeah.
I think you should.
What is the deal?
Well, it's just like a gold sponsorship.
Okay.
You know, people are buying gold, and the reason why I have to take it is because it's Mark Levin's old sponsor.
Oh, you have to take it. I love that spin. Not you're now being sponsored by Mark Levin's sponsor. No, it's a troll. He's just trolling, taking the millions from the gold merchant that used to support the big Zionist propagandists. It's not Goldco. It's called like Advantage Gold or something like that. Yeah, why do they put themselves through this? Like the whole Christian having to fight this battle as a Christian, and you just get constantly mocked by the Pope and real Christians and Catholics and Zionists in your own book, and you just have to sit there and act like you're serious while you're saying a Jew created the world. You don't have to do it.
Okay.
So it's an old Mark Levin gold sponsor, and they said, I don't like Mark Levin anymore. I want to support you. So they're taking his deal and giving it to me. So otherwise, I don't think I would have taken it, but I have to just mod Mark Levin. Just on account of.
Is it a big deal?
Yeah, it's like a 7-figure deal.
Not bad.
Yeah, so it'll be, I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're negotiating it, but it'll be an interesting deal. It'll be the first sponsorship because I only do super chats and merch and subs.
I was gonna say, man, it's really difficult for you. It's crazy because you're getting like literally no sponsors banned on everything.
Dude, because you did your Kanye song at the club, you're gonna be banned from all the clubs, and you're never gonna get a sponsorship deal because you're hanging out with these clowns like Myron. Getting mogged by the Jews.
I still get brand deals.
Getting mogged by the Jews. We'll see. Here it is. This is them all at the club. The Avengers unite. Andrew Tate, Myron, Fuentes, Clavicular, who I think might be the Antichrist. Potential candidate of the Antichrist, Sneeko, the defender of the third world. This is the super squad, the white nationalist anti-Semitic super squad right here.
They don't understand the things I say on Twitter.
The club has put out a statement condemning and banning them all from the club. The Jewish club owners in Miami are now club after club banning them from ever coming. This is what winning looks like, guys. This is optics. This is the optics Nick told us so much about. This is hilarious. So this is for you guys that don't know, this is the Looks Maxer, 20-year-old Clavicular. Nick's first time out at the club, He goes, hey, I'm going to go get you some hot girls. Come up here and flirt with you. And Nick panics and says, please don't. Please don't. I'm good. Please don't. Dude, this guy mogs Nick right here.
Yo, Nick, I'm going to bring some girls over for you. Please don't. I'm good.
Please don't. Terrified. He knew he was going to say, you should have done it anyway. You don't ask. You just do it. Come on. He cucked us. Clavicular, you cucked us on the content. You had Nick out at the club and you don't even have a bunch of girls. You don't surround him with girls trying to flirt with him and film it. How rude. I wasn't even there, and I felt like flashbacks of my 20s, and I wanted to go home. Clubs are the worst. The loud music, the expensive drinks, you can't even talk. You just stand around. I used to hate them. It made me so have such gratitude that I have a wife and kids, seeing these 30 and 40-year-olds out at the club. But we're winning. Christ is king. Nothing they hate more. All the NPCs chanting Moshiach is king. This is funny.
This movement.
Another Mexican groyper says, oh, it's okay because we're the same religion.
We be.
If anything, white people here need Hispanics and Latinos more than anyone else.
White
do you want to know why?
You are literally the Latino Uncle Ruckus. What the fuck are you talking about?
All of our population is more than half white.
Literal Latino Uncle Ruckus.
White.
This is crazy.
Our religion is similar, Christianity.
Bro, honestly, all the white people.
See, we're all just going to unite under Christianity, says the Hispanic groyper. Dude, so much of Nick's audience, I guess like the majority of Nick's audience is non-white. Mestizo Catholics. I mean, when you get so much of your audience is from being platformed by like Sneeko and Fresh and Fit and who else? Who's the other big one I'm thinking of? Kanye followers. And there's some others too.
In Nick Fuentes' movement.
Aiden Ross. His audience is like Aiden Ross, Sneeko, non-white Zoomers.
Space already, and this is just like, you know when he says,
Okay, I just wanted to play the Christian part. Oh, but Catholicism's so based, right? Oh, it's just Vatican II, right? So this is a book that somebody sent me. Some Christian sent me this years ago. Father Coughlin. An answer to Father Coughlin's critics. So he is the infamous anti-Semitic Catholic priest from the 1930s. So we're talking 20 years before Vatican II. He wrote about how Nazis were anti-Christian, number one. So sorry for all the coping Catholic Nazis online. He had like millions of listeners on the radio. Most famous Catholic anti-Semite in like American history. He says, quote, may every honest Jew and every God-fearing Jew, as well as every honest and God-fearing Christian, find themselves cooperating in this common objective. Gentiles must repudiate the excesses of Nazism, but Jews and Gentiles must repudiate the existence of communism from which Nazism springs. So the Jews and the Christians team up to repudiate the Nazis for a lot of these revisionists online that want to deny reality. Most people, besides the fringe e-crusaders on the internet, everybody knows this is the case. Also, Hitler and Rosenberg mentioned in this book for being against not only the Jewish nation, but the mystical body of Christ. Coughlin also says the Hitlerite movement deified the German race instead of the King of the Jews. And for all the people denying Jesus is Jewish online, lots of copers about Jesus being Jewish online. Father Coughlin, your pre-Vatican II, most famous Catholic anti-Semite in American history, affirms that Jesus is a Jew of the house of David. for all the Christian Nazi copers online and the E-Crusaders online. He also says that Catholics are, quote, spiritually Semites, super based to want to be wannabe Semites and wannabe spiritual Jews and have your circumcised hearts, like the Pope said too. He's quoting the Pope, all pre-Vatican II, affirming Jesus is Jewish, teaming up with Jews to oppose Nazis, and calling themselves spiritual Semites. Top anti-Semite Catholic. Oh, it's just the Zionists though. What about based Catholics like Father Coughlin? Well, I think we've seen enough from Father Coughlin to get the picture. And just like Nick today, the Esau Catholic boogeyman of Jews that is discredited and made a joke and gives the Jews their victim status. Nick will say Jesus is a Jew. Nick will say the Jews have a covenant still. Nick will say that the Catholic Church actually had special protections for Jews. Oh, but this is the real opposition. Christians love to be like Jews and just the persecution and the victimhood. Some black rapper was on BBC and they're like, look, the woman hissed. He says he believes in Jesus and the woman hissed. Demons are literally start hissing like serpents at the name of Jesus.
Where does it come from? Yeah. Wow. And where does it come from, the ideas and the impulse?
I'd say it comes from God. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist. My dad is a pastor and I've been brought up in the church a lot, so I'd say like a lot of gospel music influenced like my love for music.
And just quickly, who are your heroes?
My heroes are Santan Dave, Kendrick Lamar, most of all Jesus Christ.
Oh, well, it's lovely to meet you, Daniel Chenjerai.
She hissed!
As you are better known. Thank you very much.
Dude, they were all kvetching about this. She's super nice to him. Sounded like she took a deep breath in and then to talk. Oh no, she hissed like a demon.
Christ.
Oh, well, it's lovely to meet you.
Or it kind of sounds like she moved something on the desk, like she moved a piece of paper on the desk or something.
As you are better known, thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us, and very best of luck for the actual award.
I'm sure they put out a statement, or she put out a statement that she was not hissing. But hey, it doesn't stop these kooks. 1.9 million views. Yeah, looks like looking for outrage for no reason. Juanita Broderick. She knew exactly what she was doing. You can't hate the BBC enough. Dude. It's so Jewish. So Jewish. They love their victimhood. A lot of talk about this, which I do find inappropriate. I don't think protesters should be going into churches or places of worship. You don't go in and disrupt protesters like this guy in Don Lemon did. Look at this kook.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words?
Nobody had suits back then, idiot.
No! Jesus would dine with immigrants. Do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens.
Hey, you can't.
Dude, is this Duncan Trussell? Who is this guy? I want to follow this guy on social media.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino?
I love the fake Christian. Everybody's a fake Christian, right? No real Christian.
Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life while people are starving. Shame. Out now. Out now. Living real comfortable while the people starve. Living real comfortable while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're all living real comfortable, aren't you?
This guy is hilarious.
Do something.
Dude, this guy is a hero.
Stand with the Latinos. Quit ignoring this injustice. He wears a suit and tie, and he hangs out with
I'm
Christian.
joking.
No.
He's obviously
How is
cringe.
that a Christian? You're supposed to accept all immigrants, are you not? Why are you not going down to Whipple and joining us in protest against this inhumanity? You claim to be a Christian. Act like one.
Clown show. Clown show is in session. Thank you, Thorns Rune.
Thor's Rune sent $5 on Rumble. Here's my no tiny hat tax. I got into it with Big Tech on X yesterday since he thinks Nick Fuentes is winning. So he blocked me. Why is he being a sycophant to Fuentes now?
I don't know. But he's a millionaire and he's super famous, so he personally is winning. But the problem is with Fuentes, the Jews also are winning. With Fuentes and Myron and Sneeko and Andrew Tate, Jews are winning.
Watch this guy here, look.
So here's Don Lemon from CNN.
Watch this guy here, look, hugging his kid. And, you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful, it's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please, really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about. And so.
So protesters are justified in going into churches and harassing and getting in people's faces and filming and yelling. That's what protesting is about. Crazy that he...
Watch this guy here, look.
He supports this. And he interviews this guy.
I don't think so, especially those ICE agents.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. People who are wearing the uniform now, you think they're patriots?
I don't think so, especially those ICE agents.
So this is the problem with these crazy liberals too. They're trying to out-Christian the Christians. You're not a real Christian. You should be supporting the foreigners. You need to take care of your neighbor. You need to love everybody. They're trying to out-liberal, out-Jesus the Christians. That's the wrong fight to have with the Christians. He would never go into a synagogue though? No, I doubt it.
People who are wearing the...
But that other guy did. The guy, the big YouTuber that had the viral video. He went into the synagogues. I was like, that's crazy. Could you imagine if I ran into a synagogue, a Chabad synagogue with my camera and started going, hey, who's Edom? Tell me about the Klippa. Hey, Will, do you think our souls are evil from the Sitra Achra? Can you imagine if I did that, how quick I'd be shot or arrested? Yeah, these liberals are neo-Christians. Christians are neo-Jews, and then these leftist liberals are neo-Christians.
Uniform now, you think they're patriots?
I don't think so, especially those ICE agents.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, no, they're terrorists. They're traitors.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your service. I appreciate it.
Today we had the honor to protest with Nikema Armstrong and the Racial Justice Network. Just like Jesus did, we went into that church and we flipped tables.
Yes, dude. Jesus is his hero, bro. He's flipping those tables just like his hero Jesus. The libtard fanatic.
Peacefully. Strong and the Racial Justice Network. Just like Jesus did.
This is how they toppled Rome, yeah.
We flipped tables peacefully. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? This is the house of... Why are you not at Whipple every day?
Dude, can I get away with this? Imagine if I tried this. Ran into a church and started yelling at the pastor with my book. Hey, Jesus is a fake Jewish lie, man. Stop spreading Jewish propaganda. How stupid is everybody here believing these Jewish fairy tales? Could you imagine that? Hey, if I get desperate enough one day, maybe I'll have to. If the E-Crusaders Online piss me off enough, maybe that's the next move. We'll see.
Hey, fighting for the humanity, standing for our people. Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not going to comment. You have no comment, exactly. As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living loud.
We watched that already.
Feel comfortable. A Christian. You're supposed to accept all immigrants, are you not? Why are you not?
Hey, you're supposed to love the Jews, right? The Jews are chosen, are they not? See how this works? They want sympathy for thousands of years of Christian persecution while simultaneously saying we owe them for our civilization. Melanie Phillips.
Christianity is the foundational creed of the West, but Christianity didn't come from nowhere. It is actually an offshoot of Judaism. Judaism is its parent. And the kind of values that I'm talking about actually were created by Jews, by Judaism, by the Jewish people. Now, I would say these values are civilized values. These values aren't just values that made...
We civilized, the Jews civilized the Goyim, of course.
West. You know, Western civilization is a specific thing to do with the West. But I'm talking about values that I would consider civilized. Any society should be living by these values. And those values, which I would call civilized, were basically brought to the world by the Jewish people, by Judaism, and then, as it were, implanted into the West through Christianity.
They implanted Jewish morals and Jewish cosmology in a Jewish framework, installed it, programmed it into the mind of the Goyim, and civilized the barbarian heathens, and you owe us everything.
So that's what I mean by civilized, by Western civilization. I mean actually civilization, civilized values itself.
And then we got parroting and echoing this woman. We got the ortho bros like, oh, what's your epistemology? What's your moral foundation? What's your justification for ethics? We would have no morals without the Jewish Bible. You can't have morals without Hashem, bro. Shabbos Kestenbaum was on with Adam King yesterday. I got a couple clips I want to show.
The Jew of the hour, Shabbos Kestenbaum himself.
Good to be with you.
Go. I think 4 minutes.
Also know there wasn't telephones. There wasn't even like the whole...
Not a pedophile.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, here we go.
But it's like they want to be made fun of.
So he's been going viral this week. They had a clip that was going viral of him at some Jewish conference where he claims they took him out of context, that he was calling for anti-Semites to be locked up. And also he had this World War debate with some anti-Zionist guy online. He was asked about Amalek in a viral clip, and then Adam King gets him on as the Jew of the hour. What is his background here? Godzilla attacking New York? Is this the Adam? Is this supposed to be the Leviathan attacking Edom? What's going on here? Weird background for a Jew.
You know, well, they certainly make it easy. I'll put it this way: when I was actually walking onto the stage in order to do the debate, people in the crowd, which primarily consisted of actually convicted January 6th rioters, consisted of Proud Boys.
Adam supports January 6ers, so he didn't like that.
Consisted of people I had seen on the dark corners of the internet, really not great members of society, and they were yelling things at me like, you know, you killed Jesus, you killed Palestinian babies.
You see what they do? They always bring up you blame me for killing Jesus. Because it makes you look insane, because normal people hear that and go, oh, these unhinged psychopathic Christians blaming this young, nice Jewish boy for killing God. It's a joke.
People were saying the Goyim know, which I'm not entirely sure what they were referencing.
What do they know?
Everything.
What do you guys know?
But I will say it was an incredibly hostile crowd. They heckled me nonstop again, saying that I killed Jesus, saying that I'm a pedophile.
Did you kill Jesus?
I did not kill Jesus. I'm not a pedophile.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. And
this is what I don't understand about the Jews killing Jesus thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know that Jews did not only live in Jerusalem at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were Jews in Crete. There were Jews all over the place. In Europe, there was places everywhere. And we also know there wasn't telephones. There wasn't even like Western Union or like overnight express deliveries. So like, how is it that every Jew is to blame for the killing of Jesus if the Jews were even responsible in Jerusalem? But I mean, like, the logic of these anti-Semites is so low IQ. It's so low level.
Yeah, I think kind of the issue I have with anti-Semitism isn't necessarily a hatred of the Jews, because as two Bible-believing Jews, anti-Semitism is something that's kind of prophesized, right? The book of Deuteronomy talks about this.
See, the anti-Semitism is prophesized. It's part of the prophecy. The Christians being retards and hating Jews for stupid, made-up Jewish reasons, it fulfills the prophecy of their victimhood and their persecution when they're in exile amongst Edom. Trust the plan.
Well, it talks about this, that so long as we live in exile, which we currently are experiencing, 3 things will always be true. You'll be small in numbers, check. You'll be scattered across the world, check. And you'll be hated. So when people hate Jews, I kind of just see that as a manifestation of God's word. So it doesn't really bother me.
See, hating Jews is a manifestation of God's word. So the Christians hating the Esau, hating Jacob, these e-crusaders saying Jews are Khazarians and worship the devil and drink baby blood and killed God and all of that, you give them that. You create the dynamo in the antithesis. You play the antithesis in the villain.
Me as much. What does bother me is just the abject stupidity coming from these people. So I remember, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to give her any credit, but she was on Twitter a few weeks ago and she was calling me out and other people with like stereotypically Jewish names. Yet her name, which again I'm deliberately not going to say because I don't want to give her credit, her name literally comes from the Hebrew Bible. So meanwhile she's making fun of like, oh, your name is Shabbos Kestem. I only want to name my kids Christian names.
What was her name?
I don't want to give her credit. I'll tell you after. Her
Always...
Hebrew name from the Bible is Elisheva, but of course she doesn't know that. So again, hate Jews as much as you want, but like,
is this what he would say to me? Oh, your name is Adam. That's Hebrew. Oh, I bet you didn't think you're owned. I guess you lost now.
Intelligent human being, be a productive member of society. And that's what really bothers me about people like Nick Fuentes, is because they just actively encourage their audience not to think critically about issues. Just blame all of their problems, personal or universal, on something the Jews.
You know, last night they went clubbing.
Actually, Nick says that his audience is stupid and he wants to join the Jews persecuting them.
And it was force-fed on every single person's timeline. Like,
okay,
if you use X...
In this video, I don't think I have the timestamp for it, but he also says he wants you to go to church. He wants all the Christians to go to church. He wants all the Goyim in America to go to church. He said this many times, by the way, also. But hold on, let's go to 14 minutes right here.
It wasn't 6 million on the Holocaust. We get it. But like, do laundry. It's a weird lifestyle these people are choosing to inhabit.
But like, when you see people come over the border, you know, like, they always have like that one shirt and that's Myron Gaines. Like, he's got one shirt now and he's like, you know, doing it, goose-stepping the Fuhrer while wearing his one shirt.
Which, again, you know, for real Nazis out there, whether you're watching this stream where you just truly believe in the ideology of the Fuhrer, you have to admit, as a Nazi, having, you know, Sneeko and Myron Gaines, these people would cause Hitler to kill himself a second time. He would have sent these people to the concentration camps well before the Jews, which, you know, someone like Nick Fuentes, I obviously
got him.
And I wouldn't call him intellectual, but he knows some history. The other crowd of last night, I mean, they're just idiots. They don't realize that, for example, way before the Jews were sent to concentration camps, Hitler had the T4 program, for example, which was involuntary euthanasia for those who were, essentially mentally disabled.
17.
The Jews control the government, or the Zionists, or
the
Hitler. You can only drive in a Sprinter van. I've noticed that is, please get married, like have kids.
Oh, there it is.
Which is an interesting phenomenon in and of itself. But what I will say is they're really not defeating the accusations of just like blatant homosexuality. I always heard these rumors that Nick and Destiny, they got together, and I kind of always denied it. But after seeing Nick last night explicitly saying, "Don't bring any girls to me, I'm really okay,"
he was very, very uncomfortable around.
Yes. So again,
like being in the club, he almost like turned his back to everybody.
Shabos, are you really the right guy to be calling Nick gay, of all people?
Again, you get hate.
You aren't exactly the example of masculinity.
But please get married, like have kids, go to church. Don't
go to church. Go to church, Goyim. Nothing they fear more. Go to church, Goyim.
Morons were doing last night in Miami.
And it just
got it.
And find Jesus and learn the New Testament. But
dude, nothing they fear more.
Don't convert, not because we think we're better than you. We just think you don't have to live a life in accordance with 613 commandments. What you do have to do is 7 Noahide laws, which anyone should do. And America's a Christian nation. I'm saying this as an Orthodox Jew. It's good for America to remain a Christian nation. We should encourage way more people, especially Gen Z white men, to go to church and find Jesus and learn the New Testament.
Funny that Shabos Kestenbaum and Ben Shapiro and Dennis Prager and Netanyahu all have the same, all promote and advocate the same solution as Nick Fuentes and all of these leading prominent anti-Semites. We need to have a Christian nation again. We need to bring Jesus back. Hey, we're not like those Zionists. We're like base Catholics. Look at what your Pope says. Look at what even your most based anti-Jewish Catholic of American history says. Spiritual Semites worship a Jew. We need to team up with Jews against the pagans.
But unfortunately, there's an increasing amount of Islamic radicals who don't believe in that. Christian parents should be teaching their kids the values of Christianity. They should be sending their kids to Christian day schools. America would be such a much better country if more Christians went to church, if more Christians went to the Bible. We're one of the only religions.
Yeah, he's a little zesty of isn't Shabos a little zesty and sassy as an Orthodox Jew? That's funny. Oh, God, I don't think I can read all this. Not right now. My throat's starting to hurt. Take a moment to say a prayer for Donald Trump with the Bible babes.
That when he would lay his head at night, he would rest peacefully, that the weight of the world would no longer rest on his shoulders, God, but he would have a personality and an air of joy and of peace. May your will be done, and may you be glorified, Jesus. Holy Spirit, I just pray that you will show him a deeper revelation of the person of Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen.
Volkish Spirit says, I can't imagine being an E-Crusader and having to see shit like this every day, by the way, and try to dance and wiggle my way out of it. I know. They go, he's just lying. Oh, yeah, he just promotes Judeo-Christianity. They have their little copes. They're the worst. Yeah, it must be hard work. Must be rough, all the coping that the Christians have, all the mental gymnastics and coping and lies these Christians have to do. It must be difficult. All right, we're going to do a Greenland segment. Okay, let's do this. This is the YouTuber with huge following, Tyler Oliveira. He did like a live stream where he walked around the Hasidic community in New Jersey or New York. I think it's New York. New York. Welfare addicted Jews. That was the angle, is that they're taking advantage of the welfare system and they're not working and they're just studying Torah all day and having like a dozen kids each.
This is Curious Joel, a village of 44,000 Hasidic Jews in upstate New York that primarily speak Yiddish, have an average of 7 kids per family, and rely heavily on state assistance and welfare programs like Medicare, SNAP, housing assistance, and tax credits from their many kids.
Esau will work and push the plows and pick the grapes, and we will sit in the tents and study Torah, okay? It's the way Hashem created the world.
How many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids?
They are proud to do what the Torah says, that you need to be multiple and fruitful.
Wow. How do people afford to have like 10 kids out here?
The community is based on this. So
is it wealthy members of the community give charity?
Yes, mostly.
I don't talk to suspicious persons.
How am I suspicious? Do you study Torah?
You work for Hamas?
What do you do for work?
Nothing.
How do you make money?
My wife.
Your wife?
My wife.
Doing home.
A few of them said that. My wife. It's like, so your wife is raising 17 kids, but she makes the money?
Kid.
Broke kids, construction.
Are most people on Medicaid, SNAP, EBT?
I don't know. I can't speak for other people.
They probably all have businesses, shady businesses, and also collect welfare. And are committing tax fraud. I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm not going to tell about myself.
Yeah, we're not breaking the rules. It's not fraud. It's the system. We're just better the system than you, goy.
I'm curious about, though, is the welfare use. Are you on welfare?
No. The Jewish people, just from Kid as Joel, their taxes covers everything that we take back. They pay a lot of property tax.
Do you know anyone on welfare here?
I won't comment on that question.
Come on.
No.
Why not?
No.
What do you guys do for work here? You guys have like business?
One of the themes of his video that he did was how they're all such bad drivers. He said he saw like several car accidents and just like they're all chaotic with the whole streets and stuff.
Businesses, work a job, study Torah.
I have a job.
What do you do?
I'm in sales.
What do you sell?
Food.
Okay, what food do you sell?
Chocolates.
What? I feel like I'm getting bamboozled right here. Excuse me, do you guys take EBT?
We do.
What percentage of people would you say use EBT for their groceries here?
100%.
100%?
Whoa, 100% says the black guy gave you the truth. What credible witness here? 100% of them use EBT.
Percentage would you say?
35%.
A little bit difficult to conclude what to take away from that. Let's pop in here and say shalom. Synagogue? Okay. Lots of people praying. I'm not sure the schedule exactly, but 9 o'clock sharp, they're not at work. Question for you. What do most men do for work here?
Dude, I can't believe he walks into the synagogue live streaming.
sharp. They're not at work.
I've thought about doing something like that. I would assume the police would be called in a second. I think they did call the police on him. There is a policeman that comes up.
Question for you. What do most men do for work here? Can you give me some ideas?
Oh,
I'm just asking Hasidic Jews out here. What do you mean? Do people here survive off of welfare? BT?
there is a percent, like all of the communities.
I'll just go in. I'll have some meta glasses, and I'll be like, I want to read Torah. I want to be Noahide. I'll have an accent, and I'll be like, I want to be a Noahide. Can I read Torah with you? Can I read Torah with you, Rabbi? Don't worry about the camera, Rabbi.
8 kids can also get benefits.
It's 2:59. Why aren't people at work?
These are all teenagers.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
You gotta wonder what these people do
Teenager.
for employment. So if you want to talk about Sharia law and people living in a theocratic ethnic enclave, look no further. Curious Joel is an example of only Jews living here, and a lot of them are tapping into welfare benefits.
Wow. This guy, I think a lot of inbreeding going on in these communities.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
How are you doing? Yeah.
This guy, this is a real divine spark right here.
How are you? You want to say hi?
Independent journalist.
Yes.
Lucy, you want to say hi? No.
Okay.
No.
How are you doing? Yes.
I don't want to laugh at
How are you, my friend?
the downs,
How are you doing?
but
Yes.
Wow.
How are you? You want to say hi?
it's a funny one.
Yes.
Lucy, you want to say hi?
Dude. That might be the that might be the Moshiach right there. Chosen chromosomes. Yeah, the inbreeding. Got to watch out for that inbreeding. That's the only cool dude around there. I know the guy probably is cool. I'd want to interview that guy on the show. All right, this is also crazy. I guess I'm going to cover some of this other stuff. I have to wrap it in the next 9 minutes. The Denmark stuff is ongoing, so I'll cover that tomorrow, but I want to cover this before it's old news. This is crazy. Donald Trump, in his obsession with getting the Nobel Peace Prize and being the Prince of Peace, the biblical peace, Donald Trump meets with Maria Machado of Venezuela in the Oval Office, and she presents the president with her Nobel Peace Prize in recognition. Unbelievable. He can't get one given to him, even though BB nominated him and others have nominated. So she gives it to him. She was the one groomed, the puppet groomed to take over from Maduro in Venezuela. And in exchange, thank you, William. Jewish Somalis learning the Talmud, yeah. To President Trump, in gratitude of your extraordinary leadership in promoting peace through strength, advancing diplomacy, and defending liberty and prosperity. Dude, talk about an asterisk. You can't give your Nobel Peace Prize to somebody else. It's like a participation trophy. Dude, you got the Constitution behind him like that? Dude, if this guy will accept somebody else's Peace Prize, he will definitely go for a third term. Yeah, null and void. Your prize has been null. Aren't you embarrassed by posting this? Adam should go undercover. I know. I'm going to shave all my head, get the twist up the sideburns, put on a yarmulke and go in there and film. Say, I want to read Torah. I want to be a Noahide and read Torah with the rabbis, with God's chosen people. I'll grab them by their tassel and I'll be like, show me the way, Rabbi. God created me as a good Noahide to serve you. Tell me what you want me to do, Rabbi. Show me the light switch. That would be hilarious. Secondhand Peace Prize. Yeah, you got the sloppy seconds Peace Prize. White House demands the Nobel Foundation at least officially note Trump's unprecedented accomplishments. Dude, unreal. What clown. Is this some Antichrist prophecy? Is there like some prophecy of the Antichrist? It would be like the lawless one will steal awards from thy heroes or something. He will take accolades that are undeserving. I bet you there's some prophecy. Watch. Adam could pull the Hasidic look. Do I have the rabbi thing on here? I used to have it. Where is it? I don't have it. We are so cooked. Nobel Prize Foundation put out a statement. One of the core missions of the Nobel Foundation is to safeguard the dignity of the Nobel Prizes and their administration. The foundation upholds Nobel's will and its stipulations. It states that the prizes are non-transferable. It's not like a coupon that you could just hand to your buddy. It states the prize shall be awarded to those who have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind, and it specifies who has the right to award each respective prize. A prize can therefore not even symbolically be passed on or further distributed. Oh, they're seething. Has this ever happened before? Is this unprecedented that somebody tries to give away their Nobel Prize?
Maria Machado's Nobel Prize. Yesterday you accepted Maria Machado's Nobel Prize medal. What do you intend to do with it, and why would you want someone else's Nobel Prize?
Well, she offered it to me. I thought it was very nice. She said, you know, you've ended 8 wars, and nobody deserves this prize more than in history than you do. And I thought it was a very nice gesture.
You think Trump would have like too much ego and pride to like have somebody give them their Nobel Prize?
And by the way, I think she's a very fine woman, and
he'll probably start like adding that to his resume too. He'll be like, I won the Nobel Prize. They wouldn't give it to me, but I still got it anyway.
We'll be talking again. Say it.
What's the trigger for the Insurrection Act in Minnesota? What are you waiting for?
Yesterday you accepted.
And it is connected to the Denmark thing now. It's being reported that Trump wants to invade. I don't think this is really the case, but they're saying that Trump wants to invade Greenland because Norway wouldn't give him the Nobel Peace Prize. New York Times, they published the letter Trump sent. Trump told Norway's prime minister that one reason he's pushing to acquire Greenland is because he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. You couldn't make this up. Could not make this up. Where is it? Trump said he no longer feels an obligation to think purely of peace after not winning the... So he's like he's bitter, and he goes, well, if you're not going to give me the Peace Prize, then I won't be peaceful. President Trump said he no longer feels a, quote, obligation to think purely of peace after not winning the Peace Prize, and again expressed his desire to take control of Greenland in a letter sent to the Norwegian Prime Minister. Considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars plus. And the ninth front is supporting the Jews and their censorship online AI takeover. I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace. Dude, your whole peace shtick is a joke anyway when you're bombing and regime changing in Iran and Venezuela. Which way, Greenland, man? With Russia and China or America? Which way, dog sleds? Trump tweeted out, this is 5 days ago, the U.S. needs Greenland for the purpose of national security. If we don't, Russia or China will, and that is not going to happen. China put out a statement today saying, stop using the threat of China to try to justify your takeover of Greenland.
The sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know. We're going to see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happins.
You had a Machado burrito the other day. I think that's called a machaca burrito. My wife loves those. It's like marinated beef with onions and bell peppers.
You're going to brief me on the meeting right after this conference. In fact, the sooner I get you out, the faster I'm going to know exactly what happened. But we have a very good relationship with Denmark, as you know. We'll see. But, we're doing the Golden Dome. We're doing a lot of things, and we really need it. If we don't go in, Russia's going to go in, and China's going to go in. And there's not a thing that Denmark can do about it, but we can do everything about it.
More thing, what they can do than
Well, we're going to see. I mean, look, we're going to see what happens. But
I think I could go undercover.
This was talked about by President
into a synagogue.
40 years before President Truman, they were
I want
talking
to be a
about.
Noahide
We've been talking
with
about
you.
this for 100 years.
My name is Adam Greenberg, Greenblatt.
People don't realize that. This was a hot subject, probably not as hot as it is now, but it was a hot subject for a long time. We need it for national security, and that includes for Europe. And I spoke with, as you know, Mark, the head of NATO, and he really wants to see something happen. It's very important for national.
Next year might not be in. President Trump strongly believes that we cannot outsource our security because, Kristen, let me tell you what will happen, and it might not be next year, might not be in 5 years, but down the road, this fight for the Arctic is real.
I want to read Talmud with you, Rabbi. I'm Rabbi Greenberg.
We would keep our NATO our NATO guarantees.
A fat suit? Yeah, I need a fat suit for the costume.
In Greenland, from Russia, from some other area, we would get dragged in. So better now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States, and there will not be a conflict because the United States right now, we are the hottest country in the world. We are the strongest country in the world.
We're so hot right now.
The U.S. projects strength.
Edom Golden Age, we're so hot right now. Jesus is so hot right now.
Put an extra dog, and they were serious to do about things such as that. Not going to happen. We're not, I can't rely on Denmark being able to fend themselves off. They were talking about they put an extra dog, and they were serious about this. They put an extra dog sled there last month. They added a second dog sled. That's not going to do the trick.
Denmark fought alongside the United States in both Afghanistan.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
So he's mocking that they sent. I saw some posts about, they sent one soldier there to defend America, or they sent a dog sled to stop the U.S. military.
I have a very good relationship with Denmark, and we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work out. Yeah. Do about things such as that.
I didn't believe that was doable. But it's not that I'm now, saying everything is solved. It's not solved. We didn't manage, but I honestly speaking, I didn't believe that was doable. We didn't manage to change the American position. It's clear that the president has this wish of conquering over Greenland. We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom. There's a government in Greenland with support from 3/4 of the Greenlandic population. The premier made it very, very clear yesterday that Greenland, for the time being and for foreseeable future, will remain within the kingdom of Denmark. And therefore, this is a common position that we want to work with our American friends and allies, but it must be respectful cooperation and it must respect the red lines. But it's not that I'm now,
That was the Danish former minister. There's the dog sled post.
Especially when it comes to what we're doing.
This is today.
Pull out of NATO if it doesn't help you acquire Greenland. If it doesn't lead well, we're going to see. NATO has been dealing with us on Greenland. We need Greenland for national security very badly. If we don't have it, we have a big hole in national security, especially when it comes to what we're doing in terms of the Golden Dome and all of the other things. We have a lot of investments in military. We have got the strongest military in the world, and it's only getting stronger. And you saw that with Venezuela. You saw that with the attack on Iran, with the knocking out their nuclear capability potentially. So, yeah, we're talking to NATO.
Look at this. I just saw this. Barnes & Noble prominently displayed the Charlie Kirk book, The Pagan Threat. So all the biggest Zionists shilling Jesus, Netanyahu and Shapiro, all shilling Jesus, promotion of Jesus everywhere. And then, the bestseller prominently displayed at Barnes & Noble, The Pagan Threat. And these e-crusaders want to sit around and lie and say, paganism's a Jewish psyop and nothing they hate more than Jesus. You guys are pathological, coping liars. All right, here's Trump's letter he gave to Norway, the leader of Norway. Considering your country has decided to not give me the Nobel Peace Prize, he's so vindictive. Denmark cannot protect the land from Russia or China, and why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago. We had boats landing there also. I have done more from NATO than any other country since its founding, and now NATO should do something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we complete a total control of Greenland. Thank you. I want to see what Putin has said about Trump's Greenland
Возможность
plan.
аннексии Гренландии и о планах Соединенных Штатов Америки по присоединению Гренландии. Но вы знаете, это только на первый взгляд может кого-то удивить.
This might be surprising at first glance, but that's mistaken.
Полагать, что это какие-то
These are just some extravagant talk from the new American administration.
Ничего подобного.
Nothing of the sort.
На самом деле такие
In fact, the United States had such plans as early as the 1860s.
Уже тогда
Even then, the American administration was considering the possibility of annexing Greenland and Iceland.
Но эта идея.
But the idea did not receive the support of Congress at the time.
Напомню, что
Incidentally, I would like to remind you that by 1868, American newspapers were ridiculing the purchase of Alaska.
она называлась
It was called madness. Why is Putin supporting this? If Trump is getting it so that we can have, we need it because of Russia and China, why is Putin supporting it?
и белых медведей.
So America can never bitch about Russia or China invading their neighbors again. That's what I was thinking, Swindler's List. Exactly.
И Эндрю Джонсона, тогдашнего президента Соединенных Штатов. Поэтому предложение по Гренландии провалилось. Но сегодня это приобретение, я имею в виду приобретение Аляски.
Oh, right. Good one. No thing, man. Putin wants Trump to wreck NATO. Putin is encouraging Trump to take Greenland so it causes a rift between America and Europe and America and NATO and breaks up NATO. That's their ultimate goal. Exactly. That explains it. Answer solved.
Наверняка оценивается в самих
Question solved.
Штатах совсем иначе. Так же, как и деятельность президента Эндрю Джонсона. Поэтому ничего удивительного в том, что
Nothing
происходит
surprising
сегодня,
about what is happening today.
нету. Тем более, что
Especially since this story only began then and continued.
дальше. В 1910 году, например,
1910.
была подготовлена трехсторонняя сделка по обмену территориями между США и
That's Putin's motive here, undoubtedly.
Гренландия отошла бы Соединенным Штатам, но сделка сорвалась тогда. Во время Второй мировой войны США разместили в Гренландии военные штаты. Сегодня планы и геостратегические и экономические интересы в Арктике. На основе исторические корни. И очевидно,
The U.S. will continue to systematically promote its geostrategic, military, political, and economic interests in the Arctic. Wow. All right, that is all we have for today. It's a little bit short of the goal, but I do appreciate all the support. You guys are amazing. I will be back tomorrow with another show tomorrow morning. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give it a like, a share, clip it. I always appreciate the clips.
Help me, Jesus! Help me, Jewish God!
Let's see. What am I looking for? Here we go. The background. You guys are amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments. And you guys have a nice night. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I'm working on a new intro. Now that the book's done, and once I get it published and sold on the website very soon, I'm going to be working on clips, edits, reading new books. I'm going to make a new intro, maybe some new backgrounds. Going to get busy. The book's been holding up everything, and now that that's done, I'm going to be getting real busy. We're only getting started. Thank you, Beowulf. It's going to be a big year. Big things are happening. They're not going to be able to ignore us anymore like they have.
$20 on Rumble. Good show.
Thank you, Beowulf. I thought it was an amazing show. Amazing clips, amazing content. Every day, so much material to cover. Really is. Feels like I'm taking crazy pills. All right, you guys take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, I got to do a shorter one.